Associate Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship with CA and Professional Accounting, Congo Arts and Science College, to welcome the gathering and introduce our Honorable Speaker, Professor Ramanathan Karupaiah, sir. Please, ma'am.
Good morning to one and all present here. It's my privilege to welcome you all for International Multidisciplinary Conference. First, I would like to welcome our Chief Guest, Professor Ramanathan Karupaiah, International Director, Financial Crime Compliance, Australia, Crypt University, Director, Islamic Bank, Australia. Technical Session-2, I welcome you, sir. Ramanathan Karupaiah is a seasoned accounting and financial professional having over 35 years of experience. He has spent his first 15 years of his professional life in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. In 2002, he has migrated to Australia with his family. He is Fellow of Institute of Public Accountants of Australia, Fellow of Institute of Financial Accountants of United Kingdom, Fellow of International Compliance Association, member of Anti-Money Laundering Specialist of USA, and a certified financial crime auditor. He has maintained status of responsible manager under Australian Financial Services license. Funded, and he had been Chief Executive Officer of Fly Wallet Private Limited, a fintech started up in Australia. He is one of the few consultants, auditors, and advisor in the field of financial crime prevention in Australia. He is a member of the Board of Directors of Islamic Bank, Australia. He has been instrumental in funding the Agency of Excellence in Financial Crime Investigation and Compliance at Crypt University. He is a qualified Justice of Peace. He has written a number of subject matter articles and delivered keynote speeches on several international financial crime prevention conferences. Thank you. Once again, I welcome you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our reputed speaker to express his views on artificial intelligence and sustainability development. Please, sir.
Good morning, everyone, from both Patricians College and Congo Arts College. I am connecting to you from the traditional land of Australian Aboriginals, namely Kumbumeri, Nyanagrawal, Mununjali, and Wangaribura. These are all traditional country names within Australia, and I respect the elders, past, present, and emerging in this traditional land of wisdom. And I also pay my respect நம்முடைய சென்னை மற்றும் கொங்கு மண்டலத்தில் இருக்கிற நீங்கள் குழுமி இருக்கிற அந்த மண்ணையும் அங்கு வாழ்ந்த பழமை வாய்ந்த அறிஞர்களையும் அவர்களுடைய அறிவையும் மதித்து போற்றி வணங்குகிறேன். If everyone is thinking that I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence today, I think I'll be really disappointing all of you because I'm not an expert in artificial intelligence. But however, you will go today back to your places that you have learned something which is new and it is going to be very useful in your professional life. I intentionally read this traditional Aboriginal anthem like our Tamil Thai Valthu. This anthem is translated into English and I am going to carefully read. I hope everyone can listen to me. Is it all clear for you? Am I audible? Can anyone confirm, please?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Thank you. Look after the land she is our mother. Look after the land, she is our mother. Honor each person as sister and brother. Honor the elders, share with each other. Then rain will come, the land to cover. I will go again because it is very important to understand the matter of sustainability. Look after the land, she is our mother. Honor each person as sister and brother. Honor the elders, share with each other, then rain will come, the land to cover. This has so much to do with the word sustainability. Sustainability, if we have to speak about sustainability, I have to take you backwards, because the scholars and doctors and researchers who have spoken ahead of us has taken you from industrial revolution to the industry 5.0 where we stand today. But I'm taking you backwards 60,000 years to understand how our elders lived in this planet. Look after the land is that land is so important, which gives us the food, the air, the essential components of our livelihood is derived out of mother land. And the love we have to contribute to each other, the peace we have to render to each other is the second line. Honor each person as sister and brother. The third one is very, very important, because the elders, not Google, not Bing, not anything else, the elders are the ultimate and genuine source of knowledge and wisdom. Who can be more caring about our welfare if not our fathers and grandfathers? That's why the Aboriginal anthem requires us to respect the elders, honor the elders, and share their knowledge in a genuine and legitimate manner to each other. And then comes the outcome of all these observances, that rain will come. In our tradition also, we usually say that the rain has failed, so there is no one in this country who is good or sage or saint. So our deeds are responsible for the nature's failure. If we do good things, it is going to be good. Otherwise, it is going to fail. With this, let me come back to our point. I love this, the motto, the words written at your back: positivity, perseverance, and progress, which is maybe it is your theme of this international conference, or maybe it is the theme of your institution. But I love this three P's of positivity, perseverance, and progress. These have so much to do with sustainability as well, because in sustainability, what is so important is people, planet, and profit. You can never stop people advancing towards profit. They work for profit. They are here for profit. They invest and do enterprises for profit. But what is more important in the 3 P's of people, planet, and profit is the sustainability. You can derive profit. Of course you can. It is very fair to only ask for, we as finance students and economic students, we have studied the rent theory, which actually advocates for us to have every factor of production needs to be fairly rewarded and remunerated. Otherwise, it will fail too. So the 3 P's of sustainability are people, planet, and profit. If profit goes ahead of people and planet, it will not be sustainable. If planet has to be completely taken care of, we have to ignore people and profit. So what is required here, I'm actually bringing my conclusion to the beginning of this session, is people, planet, and profit are equally important. They have to find their comfort zone while interacting with each other. They cannot put one at the front, leaving the other 2 at the back. So profit is very important. The planet had crores and crores of years of existence. But the advocates of sustainability actually fear that in the last 100 years or 150 years, the humanity has irresponsibly spent the planet for both people and profit. It has never been this much bad. And we are going to talk about how we are going to balance in an industrial advancement 5.0 against how we are going to laterally balance the importance of planet while talking about profit and the comfort of people. I can assure you at the end of this session, I will also talk about how artificial intelligence can be used in the field of finance and how we can deploy the other techniques of machine learning, deep learning, and all those things, because I have used them in my work and I can talk about it authentically. But that is something you also can learn from other places. If you Google, you can understand how artificial intelligence can be used in process of eliminating repetition or advancing intelligence in conducting businesses that are more related to finance, economics, and corporate governance. But I think I have been given an excellent topic, because sustainability is the center point of every advancement. If we advance with sustainability in our mind, then that is the most ethical way of taking any technology or industrial advancement into progress. Can you see my slideshows? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Please proceed, sir.
Yeah. Sustainability Before we get into artificial intelligence, we will just see how sustainability can be applied into our life. Imagine that you are left in a forest where there is no food and you have only left with a few chapatis and some curry, and people know that they have to survive for until someone find them from this unknown forest. Then keeping yourself alive with the available resources can be more or less compared to sustainability. But what is even more important here is we are actually playing with the planet and the future of our children and grandchildren. So we need to strike a balance towards the availability of the resources, the existence of the planet, and everyone should be able to share this in a more balanced way. I think in this we have spoken about the 3 P's of planet, people, and profit. In other words, they are environment, society, and economics. So the pillars of sustainability here is there is always a need, and people want to develop and progress over and above their need, and also want to make economic, which is, in other words, is profitability. So what needs to be in consideration are the social responsibility and environmental sustainability. Now we get into the artificial intelligence. So I will just conclude that point of sustainability. Wherever I'm sure all of you will be in a very well professional occupations in your future after completing your studies. I think as students, we need to be determined to be ethical in our conduct while we work for people. Especially if you want to test yourself as to how ethical you are in your profession, imagine that you have a bulk of data you have worked for, and you have this 20 terabyte worth of data in your hard disk, and you want to do a PhD, and you can use this data to do your PhD and arrive at your research results. But you pretty well know that this data is not actually intended for you to use this. You neither own this nor have an authority to use this in the way you want to use this. But you think, I'm just doing a research, therefore I can use this for this purpose. No one is going to know. If you behave in a responsible manner, while there is no way someone can find out that you are going to use this data for a otherwise purpose you are not authorized to, or not even allowed to hold this in beyond your job, which you have been doing in another place. If you decide, okay, I want to do PhD, but I don't want to use this data because I don't have the legal authority or a consent to the data owners have not consented to let me use this. If you are doing this where there is no one going to detect this, that you are doing this, And if you refuse yourself that opportunity to do that PhD using that data, that is exactly where your ethical behavior should be. I just want you to think about it. That is the responsibility you need to behave in your professional conduct. Quite often we start to complain that people are not doing the right thing, politicians are not doing the right thing, the bureaucrats are not doing the right thing. But quite often we forget to ask ourselves this question: have I behaved ethical in situations where I had to? We always go and bribe officers, bribe politicians, bribe people just because we have failed somewhere. If you have not failed, you have adhered to all what you have adhered to, no one can actually push you to a situation where you have to bribe someone. Think about it. It's a simple thought. That's exactly why the ethical behavior, the ethical thought has to begin from our own self, our own conduct and behavior. If we change ourselves, I think today we have more than 2,000 people sitting here. If all the 2,000 have decided to change that I will not do in my life, I will not construct a house without a proper planning approval. So I don't have to bribe anyone who comes on the street and asks for 5,000 rupees. That is where the sustainable and ethical behavior starts. So we keep complaining that we are ruled by people who are not having proper behavior. They are doing selfish decisions and all those things. I think we are the best people to begin that change. And I thank you for thinking about it. Okay, the intelligence in reality has begun, as my previous speaker has said, in the early 1800s. Because when man invented wheel, they have invented intelligence. How to move, how to specialize in a job using scales and distribution of skills. But where artificial intelligence comes to exist is actually when people should not necessarily be there to make a decision. So the machines start to think like human. So it's a promotion of the developed artificial languages, the codes, the arguments which we have been using so far has been doing what you have asked them to do. They can go process the data, they can bring results, give you reports, analyze things and get you reports. But artificial intelligence is a new normal where artificial intelligence can replace human thinking to certain extent, up to 90% now you can say. So you can find all these definitions in internet, Google, Bing, wherever, but the bottom line is artificial intelligence is the new way of processing data and doing things like human being does. I will just go through the advantages and disadvantages quickly and then tell you where I have used artificial intelligence so you can know where these are currently used in finance industry. We can talk about disadvantages for a long time, but I will say first say the reliability. Like if you put artificial intelligence as a gatekeeper, he will not exceed the limit. He will not take a bribe and get someone in. but artificial intelligence will stick to what it has been instructed to do. So at least you will not find an artificial intelligence which can be bribed here. So it works continuously, doesn't need a rest, and it can do repetitive tasks. And the chances of error is so less, and the perfection and the accuracy are close to zero, close to 100%. And it can be scaled, and it can be used from an industry or an office to a district or a state or to a global task. So the scalability is huge. So if you invent something and you can take it easily to a bigger industry usage. And again, we will be same. The safety is also reliability. It reassures complete safety in what it is meant to perform. The disadvantages are, as usual, we have been revolting in the 90s that computer will take over a lot of people's jobs. The same fear is here also. And very reassuringly, I can tell you the accountant's job can be easily taken over by artificial intelligence, because when we apply artificial intelligence in bookkeeping, you can actually read a bank statement and take those repetitive transactions or those transactions which can be easily coded and take it to the ledgers in accounting packages. Like Xero is a very good package which already does. It takes the repetitive bank charges as bank charges and posts the entry automatically. So there can be an easy loss of opportunity for accountants and bookkeepers. So what we need to do in order to be sustainable is to make a difference. Like I can provide a tax saving strategy where the artificial intelligence cannot. So there can be an easy excel in where you differ from what a repetitive intelligence can do, and you can offer a better personally customized service, and you can still survive as a professional here. And you have to think about this loss of knowledge as a very careful component, because in Australia we have kids who have never seen a cow milking. If you ask them, where is the milk coming from? They will say the milk is coming from supermarket. They don't know that milk is coming from cow. And you know where is the problem? This is the problem in what they don't need to know. Because when I was a child, we used to go behind cows, we need to grass them, we need to milk, give them water and things, and then we also milk it and take it to home to boil and drink. But modern kids, they don't need to know where the milk is coming from. According to them, milk is coming from supermarket. Therefore, they lost the knowledge where milk is actually coming from. But if artificial intelligence is going to solve much of our problem, then we might as well don't know how to pass journal entries, because artificial intelligence had already taken over that job, and we don't need to know. In 5 years' time, when accounting students study, they won't be studying the golden rule of debit what comes in, credit what goes out, and so on. And the third disadvantage is undue reliance, we will be relying on these technology, and if there is a sudden failure or outage of that particular component, then we will go mad, as we can't survive without internet and telephone even for a day. So we have undue reliance over that technology. That's a huge disadvantage. And the empathy. Empathy is an act of thinking in the shoes of an opponent when there is a crisis. And this technology cannot think with empathy. And quickly, because I think I'm running out of time, I have been given only 30 minutes to complete this. Machine learning is even more dangerous thing. Okay, now you can tell the artificial intelligence the difference between a girl coming with a ripped jeans. She has holes in her jeans pant, and we also have defined who is a beggar or a poor person walking on the street by saying he may have a ripped dress. But can this machine determine who is the beggar and who is the rich girl, modern girl who comes in a ripped jeans? If that makes sense to all of you. So we tell them, someone who comes in a fashionable way, we even tell the intelligence more differences between the two. This man will act like very weak, and maybe he had not eaten for a few days, so he is a poor man and he doesn't have money. But the other girl is walking very fast and she may be walking in a fashionable manner. Therefore, you can distinguish a girl with a ripper jeans and a poor man or a beggar with how they appear. And then a girl who had also acting under an influence of drug or intoxication may also look very weak against the appearance of a poor man. Then we have to go and say, what is the difference between the weakness which appears from not having food, real starving, and acting in an intoxicated manner? So the machine learns and takes those components into consideration, and it makes future decisions using that learning we have given them when there were false positives. Do you understand what is false positive? The false positive is a confusion in the technology which the intelligence holds in making the decision which is the right false and false positive. So the more you feed to that machine to make that decision, that much it learns and gets deeper and deeper into its ability to make more, stronger and more. And this is exactly where, when I studied 10th standard, we had in English prose, this gentleman called H.G. Wells, who lived in 1800s. He wrote a few novels like Time Machine, The Invisible Man, and he had predicted already the man will become slave to machinery. And those days have already come. And the artificial intelligence currently is talking about taking a 5-year freeze on inventing new things for intelligence. It has advanced to that extent. And in banking, we use artificial intelligence to predict what to expect from clients, what they would require in the recent future, so that we can be ready to provide those customized products and maximize profits. As much as we say that these are positive, when you walk into a branch and you engage a customer service representative to talk to her or him, some of the banks have this decision matrix in the table. They take everything you speak as a note and then take it to your customer relationship module. We call it a CRM. They take this data there and use this data. For example, if that bank's senior most board is making a decision to launch a travel card as a product in the next 3 months, they can actually pull a data of those customers who have spoken about traveling in the next 6 months. It is as good, and it is also very dangerous because there is a lot of data under process, and in wrong hands, they can be easily detrimental. For example, there are many companies who have failed not because they have inefficient strategies or management, rather they have disclosed so much data to the bank, so they have already used this data to determine that this company will fail in the next 3 months. So if you could be surviving miraculously using some other strategies, but the bank will push you into bankruptcy sooner than later. So this data, in my experience, I have known so many good big companies have failed because one of the banks think that it is not a very excellent company, and therefore they can easily push you into bankruptcy. So they can also use this intelligence to prevent misuse of accounts. In my close to heart thing, we use the artificial intelligence in managing fraud and financial crime prevention. We analyze the internationally published prosecuted cases where involving financial crime and fraud, and take those learnings of what has gone wrong, who did what, and what could have done in order to prevent those, and convert those into red flag based algorithms, and use those algorithms to prevent these crime from happening by inserting or deploying those algorithms into we have two kind of data. One is the data which belongs to your personalized profile, the name, date of birth, where you were born, your addresses, where you have been employed, what is your qualification, whether you have been previously bankrupt, and all those things are static, they don't change. We call them as profile data. And then we also go to how you conduct your transactions as against how you told us that you will be conducting transactions, and collaborate these data and find out what is going wrong. For example, just to avoid confusion, I will tell you, if you are an employee who has been receiving monthly salaries and you have been spending on your electricity bills, school fees, petrol, diesel for your car maintenance, rent, dress, going to Reliance shops, buying some alcohol bottles, and all those are reflected in your transactional pattern. All of a sudden, there are 50 people transferring 50,000 rupees each to you, and then you are transferring that 25 lakhs to someone after taking 5 lakhs as your fees. That sudden change in your transactional behavior can be flagged, and you can be easily reported to the regulators, and we can actually start following you closely to make sure that you are not doing any criminal act that you are not supposed to do. These are all ways technology is coming close to our life. And I will leave you to think, find your opportunity. You should not leave this. So the 3 P's we spoke about earlier, people, planet, and profit. If you think that artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and Internet of Things are bringing opportunity, and I beg you to be responsible and use these in a very responsible manner so that they remain sustainable to our future generations and our land cherishes. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you may ask. I just want to know whether my words were legible to everyone, and if anyone has any questions.
No question. You are clear, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
Thanks
clear,
for
sir.
having me. I'm so pleased to be your guest today, and if I made any difference in your life, I will be very, very happy and grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for presenting an inspiring speech and igniting our minds towards artificial intelligence and sustainability development. Gratitude has been an expression of culture, humanity, and thankfulness for ages. I would like to call Ms. R. Kokilavani ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship with CA and Professional Accounting, Congo Arts and Science College, to deliver the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all. It is a great privilege for me to deliver the vote of thanks for this occasion. I express my sincere thanks to Professor Ramanathan Karupaiya sir, International Financial Crime Complaints Australia, Griffith University Director, Islamic Bank Australia, for motivating and encouraging the students to focus on their artificial intelligence and sustainability development. I would like to thank our management, principal and HOD Dr. KK Alagappan sir and all the faculty, all the staff members and students for their support and coordination. Once again, thank you to all.
Thank you, ma'am. I welcome everyone to the technical session 3 of the conference. Economics frames many choices we have to make about work, leisure, consumption, and how much to save. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Our next session is about research and economic impact in Industry 5.0. I would like to call Dr. K. Dhanalakshmi Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship at CA and Professional Accounting, Congo Arts and Science College, to welcome the gathering and introduce our honorable speaker.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. With great honor and pleasure, I welcome you all to this auspicious occasion. First, I would like to welcome our Honorable Correspondent P.D. Thangavel sir and our respected Principal Dr. H. Vasudevan sir for this International Multidisciplinary Conference. And also I welcome Director and Secretary, Academic Director, Principal and Vice Principal of Patrician College for this conference. Next, I welcome our esteemed resource person, Dr. M.B. Arun Balakrishnan, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Christ College, Autonomous, Kerala, who is sharing his valuable time to render this special address. I welcome you, sir. Next, I welcome all the HODs, faculty members and students of our college and Patrician College who have joined us in this event. I welcome you all. I feel extremely honored to introduce the resource person, Dr. M.B. Arun Balakrishnan sir, who has graciously accepted our invitation to join us today. He is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Commerce in Christ College, Autonomous, Kerala. He has nearly 15 years of experience in the field of teaching. He has completed his doctorate program in Department of Commerce in the year 2011, and also he cleared UGC NET and JRF in the year 2010. He published more than 50 articles in the International Journal and International Conference Proceedings. He also acted as a chairperson for various paper presentation sessions for the national and international conference. He delivered more than 70 guest lectures in the various colleges, and also he acted as a jury for the various quiz programs. He received various awards and medals. He received Best Outgoing Student Award of Madras Christian College in the year 2004. He received Individual Champion Award in the Sports Day of Christ College for 2 years. He is a A certificate holder in NCC Naval Wing. He received Best NSS Program Officer Award of University of Calicut in the year 2019. It's not possible to mention his all accomplishments because they are a lot. It's such a privilege to have him on the stage as a resource person. I welcome you, sir. Once again, I welcome you all for the International Multidisciplinary Conference. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I can see the smiles on your faces. I appreciate Kongur College and the Patricians College for coming forward and organizing this conference with a very new topic. And I was discussing with Dr. Aladappan on the stage, and I have been talking to him. Am I audible in the back? Am I audible? Okay, so maybe now I'll share some very basic things about this word on the screen here, and then we will move on to something. Maybe I will give you some information about how people view this industrial revolution. As I was talking, conferences are very good just to brush up our knowledge, to learn new things, to meet new friends. I can say many students from this college, And professor said that many of them have come from various colleges from different parts of Erode and also good to see you all. I'm coming for the first time to Erode. I've been to many parts. I was born and brought up in Chennai. I studied in Chennai, but my hometown is in Kerala. So my dad got retired and I got a job there. So we moved out into Kerala. So just wanted to give you some information about this. How many of you have heard this word called as IR? I just want to know your hands. How many of you know the basics about Industrial Revolution? What do you really think about this one? How many of you know this word? You all would have heard, right? You all would have heard, because in schools, for school teachers, this has been a buzzword from 11th and 12th onwards. When we start studying about commerce, all of us used to talk about Industrial Revolution and all. So let me give you some very basic idea about what is this Industrial Revolution all about, okay? So, in olden days, maybe in the 16th to technology is very good, but sometimes it makes some headache, isn't it? So I will tell you what was the history of this Industrial Revolution. How did this word become so famous and all? In olden days, the whole superpower, maybe after India was a superpower, then no, the superpower or the whole powers went to England. So in olden days, what they used to do means they used to stitch blankets. They used to prepare blankets. Porva sevanga, porva. So how do they make means? So they will bring the sheep. They have to cut the wool. They have to sort the wool. There might be some particles into the wool, or there might be some dust or small insects into it. And then they have to sort those wool, and then they have to stitch the blankets with their hands. So in olden days, they started making blankets using their hands. That was a tradition all over the whole world. Then they found out some machinery which was powered by steam engines. So Tamil Nadu is very famous for those things. You all would have heard, right? I'm talking about industry. I will give some timeline about what is exactly about Industry IR 5.0 or Industry 5.0. So before getting into this Industry 5.0, just wanted to talk about, I want to give you some basic ideas about what is Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. You would have heard about those things, but it'll be good now just to brush up what is exactly there, okay? So the organizations and the people started producing using steam power. எத்தனை பேருக்கு வந்து ஊட்டி போயிருக்கீங்க? இதில் எத்தனை பேர் ஊட்டி போயிருக்கீங்க? ஊட்டிக்கு போயிருக்கீங்களா? நம்ம எப்படி தான் ஊட்டிக்கு போவோம்? நம்ம பஸ்ஸில் போவோம் ஊட்டிக்கு வந்து. Okay, good. I think it's closer. Maybe you will go to Coimbatore and then you will go to Ooty. If you go to Coimbatore from Mettupalayam to Udagamandalam, you have a train called as steam engines, right? It's 100 years old. 100 வருஷத்துக்கு மேல ஆச்சு அந்த ட்ரெயின் வந்து. இப்போ பாருங்க, இப்போ நம்ம ஊர்ல அது ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு. In India, there is only 2 places where there is still steam engines been running. One is Tamil Nadu and the other one is Darjeeling. So that is called as the Industrial Revolution 1.0. I hope you're all clear with this, right? Industrial Revolution 1.0. Then came Industrial Revolution 2.0, or which we call it globally as IR 2.0. So Industrial 1.0 is internationally called as Industrial Revolution, or it's also called as the Blanket Revolution, which I was explaining to you how people started making blankets. People made blankets using their hand-stitched blankets and all. Then they used machines for preparing these blankets. So if one person can make around 4 to 5 blankets per month, they started making more blankets. So introduction of machines, change in the manufacturing and the transportation field is globally termed as Industrial Revolution. Then came 19th century. In the 19th century, the world witnessed lots of new inventions, Bulb was made, phone was made, telegraph, lots of aircraft was made by Wright brothers. Everything were invented in the early 19th century. Then we got electricity, which is called as the Industrial Revolution 2.0, which automatically made the organizations into automation. I think if we would have gone through the first year of BCom, we would have heard about Henry Fayol, Taylor, all those historians. That was an era. So many people were there in the classical era and in the early stages of the neoclassical era. So in those days, organizations started using electricity and they started manufacturing goods using electricity. So they were able to make more products. They were able to sell it to a huge number of people, and they were able to make more money. Then came the very important time, maybe when your professors and my many seniors know, your parents were all very young, which is called as IR 3.0, or which we used to call it as Industrial Revolution 3.0, which was the inception or was the start of the internet. This made the organizations, this changed the organizations massively. How they make products, how do they set products, how do they program their products and all. So internet came, computers came, which changed the whole course of the whole world. The productions changed, the manufacturing changed, the way people interact changed and all. I remember when I was very young, in 2000s and all, when 1999 and 2000 came, there was a rumor all over the whole world that the world is going to end because computers were programmed only till 2000, like that. Then there was a rumor that the world is going to end. There is no life after 2000 and all. So those were the buzzwords, or those were the information which we all used to get when we were very young. Internet was costly in those days. When we have to go for a browsing center, we were supposed to give around 50 rupees or 40 rupees per hour, and then we have to go and check our mails or something like that. And now we have internet on our fingertips. Just because Jio came into the world, Jio started offering free SIM cards to many people, like 3G and all of that. People never heard about 2G and all. People heard only about 2G spectrum. People were starting hearing about 2G. Jio came and gave free SIMs for 3G. So that's how we all got internet, or most of the people of India got internet. And now YouTube and all the other social medias are very familiar to most people of India because internet was free. So because of the internet, the industries changed, the way they interact with people, the way they communicate with the customers, the way they design their products, everything changed. So that is something called as IR 3.0. So let me give you some information. So IR 1.0, Industrial Revolution 1.0 is everything about steam engines, steam power. And it's so amazing, it's so beautiful to go and travel in the train. So in olden days, machines and everything were run by steam power. Then came electricity, automation, then came the internet. And to talk something about IR 5.0, we are not into 5.0. The world has never gone into 5.0 now. They are researching upon it. They have been talking about this topic called as Industrial Revolution 5.0. We have just entered, or we are just talking about something called as Industrial Revolution 4.0. So we are talking about Industrial Revolution 4.0. So there are a lot of things which comes in Industrial Revolution 4.0. So I just go through this slide. Artificial intelligence. I know most of you are familiar with this word. The previous speaker was talking about artificial intelligence, how it can change the photographs, how it can change the way we interact, how it can change the industry, how it can change the manufacturing process, how it can change change the way people interact with computers. So artificial intelligence have come into this world. We have been using it. You should have been using ChatGPT, Bard, and all those stuff. And I think schools and colleges should. So this is not inevitable. It's available to most of us. We are all using it. And I think maybe in the future, maybe in the coming days, schools and colleges should train students how to use this artificial intelligence for the benefit of my knowledge, for the benefit of my growth. So I think artificial intelligence, many of us are into it. It's a buzzword now, okay? Augmented reality, cloud computing. So I remember when I was young, when we used to travel, we used to buy pen drives. I know most of you would buy a pen drive. You would have owned a pen drive. So 10 years back, if you had a pen drive, it was a big asset for you. If you had a pen drive, it was a big thing. And if you had a pen drive, a 16 GB pen drive or a 36 GB pen drive and all, no, you were one of the richest person in your college or in your place. You have a pen drive. And now, nobody has a pen drive. Everybody saves it in the cloud. Everybody saves it in Google Drive. So where does Google Drive saves? It saves in the cloud. Whatever you save it, the length or the MB, the KB and all those stuff, no, everything you can save and it's there for your use. Robotics. Few months back, okay, this has just come. I think one school, it came in Hindu newspaper, one school in Bangalore, they brought in a robot. How these robots become so famous in India means, I think few years back, they brought a robot called as Sophia in Bombay. How many of you heard that one? Okay, they brought a robot which was named as Sophia. It's a female robot. They brought it and they made some promotions and all. Then recently, when they say we are into this industrial IR 4.0, people are talking about robotics in hospitals. Man, it means human beings won't do operations, it seems. Doctors won't do operations, it seems. Robots are doing. Still, they are doing it. Robots are doing in many of the hospitals. So we have fear. Prasavathukku porona machine vandu prasavam paakuma manusham paapana. It's so we are in fear. I have a cataract operation or I have a transplant or lung transplant, something like that, okay? Liver or lungs, something like that. As human beings now, do we trust machines? Do we trust machines or do we trust robots or human beings? Do we trust human beings? So robotics is there. Few months back, I read a news. I read a news which came in the Hindu newspaper. A school in Bangalore have introduced robots. It's there in the Western countries. So probably in the future, if this is so necessary for the people to have robots, maybe no, Alagappan sir and I won't be there in the college. I think some robots might be coming and teaching in the college. They will program, they will give you all information. So the human touch might be lost. Maybe I'll come back, I will talk about the difference between 4.0 and 5.0. The human touch might be lost. So if your teachers come and ask, no, how are you doing? I don't know whether the robots will come and ask like that. What are your parents doing? Is there any problem? Why are you sad? It will just come and teach and go. So robotics is not, it's inevitable. It's there. It has come in most parts of the whole world. Especially this will be very helpful. It's still there. It's there in the manufacturing industry. You should go to Hyundai. You should go to Maruti. You should go to top big industries or big plants, and you have to go and see how robots work. Robots means not just machines like us. There are different machines which has huge hands and huge equipments, so that it will come and keep the body of the car. It automatically screws the nuts of the car and all those stuff. Robotics is a hallmark. So I'm staying in this slide because I just wanted to stay on this artificial intelligence, augmented reality, cloud computing, robotics, self-driven vehicles. Unimaginable in a country like India. Okay? Unimaginable a country like India. Brother, what is your name? White shirt. You. Ashok. Kishore. I think most of you would have seen James Bond films, right? I think old films, not new films, okay? like Never Say Never Again, True Lies, there are old films like James Bond films. If you take those films in James Bond collections and all, in those films itself, they have shown self-driven cars. James Bond will be hiding and he will be driving his vehicle through some equipment. Now, in India, I don't know whether we have self-driven cars. In Western countries, they have self-driven cars. We have just entered into electrical vehicles. We're just researching into electrical vehicles. I was talking to my wife and I told, let's buy an Ola scooter because my bike is a very old one. I've been having it for many years and I've been planning to buy a new two-wheeler. I thought that, okay, let's buy a Ola. And she's so adamant that you should not buy Ola. And she said, what do you know about electrical vehicles? Maybe after 2-3 years, something will come. I told that now the cost of petrol has gone high. And why shouldn't I buy a electrical scooter? Most of us have, most of the people in cities and most of the parts of India, many people have electrical vehicles. We think electrical vehicles came to the world just because, or came to India, or it's so famous in India, just because the petrol prices have gone high. Isn't it? Isn't it? Absolutely wrong. When you come into Kongu College, near that guest house, resident guest house, you can see a big flex banner about SDGs. What is it called? Sustainable Development Goals. So the United Nations fixes it, designs it. Sustainable Development Goals. So due to this, or maybe many people talking about climate change, because of air pollution, the climatic conditions of the whole world is deteriorating. Because of the industries, because of the smoke, because of the plastic, many parts of the world, the air quality, the solar system, everything is deteriorating. And they researched, and the gas vehicles, electrical vehicles run by solar power have come. Isn't it? And we all think that just because, and it was an advantage for India because the prices of the petrol was going high. At the same time, electrical scooters came. I remember maybe 10 to 8 years back, electrical scooters were there. There was a company which brought electrical scooters, and the name of the company was Romai. How many of you heard of that? Romai. There was a scooter called as Romai. Nobody will buy that one. Even if you give it for free, they won't buy in those days. And now people need other. Have you heard about that one? Other, Ola. Many of them want the Hero Electrical, Hero, TVS. Everybody are now thinking and researching about hybrid vehicles. Tata, MG Hector, BMW, all of them have. We are just researching and we have just started using electrical vehicles. Suppose think, Kishore is getting into his car and he's telling from his place, Kongu College, the car will never come in India. Or the car will never come. Yana, Namburla, Rotla, Karum Po, Yermamarum Po, Basum Po, Manchinum Po, Elame Po. Car ke paite muchuna niran. So self-driven cars, it has to come means it needs to have sensors all over the road. Nothing should come in between and all. Everything should be powered by internet. And then, if Kishore sits in California and tells that Apple office, it will take you there. This is not promoting US and all, okay? We have been just entered into that era. Industrial Revolution 4.0, and people have been talking about IR 5.0. Self-driven cars. I think, it should come. I was talking to my teacher. There's a lady teacher there's a teacher in my department. She doesn't know to drive two-wheelers. So her husband used to scold her, why are you going to college every day by auto rickshaw and spending money? Buy an Activa or a Scooty Pep, something like that. But she's scared. And she spoke to her husband, it seems, self-driven vehicle should come to India. Then I will buy. I will go and get into the vehicle and I will tell Christ College should come there. Dream about many people. So it's coming. It is there, but it's in the researching process. Many of them have started using it. Blockchain. I think the earlier speaker said, okay? In simple words, it's called as automated ledger system. You don't need to do so in blockchain. If when blockchain comes in the full swing, each and every entry is recorded. Each and every entry. I go to a place, supermarket. I go to a bank. I go to a shop. I go to any retail store and I buy, or I transfer money from one place to another place. Everything will be recorded. For each block represents one entry. So blockchain, cryptocurrencies. I don't know how many of you have shares in share market. Cryptocurrencies is there. வெளியூர்லாம் இதெல்லாம் இது வந்து கொஞ்சம் அவுடேட்டட் ஆகிற மாதிரி இருக்கு in Western countries. I don't know does anybody know the value of a cryptocurrency now? It has gone to lakhs and lakhs. Very costly. Bitcoin, mint coin, Ethereum, there are lots of different types of cryptocurrencies. But the Indian government, in India, it's not legalized. You can trade, and if any problems comes to you, you have to deal it with yourself. Don't come and ask me. That's what the law tells in India. So these are few things about artificial intelligence. I think you are not able to see this thing. Internet of things, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality. You don't need to go to different parts of the whole world and see and go for sightseeing and all. You can wear that. I forgot that thing. They have to wear that glass, and they can have a physical experience about where they're moving. If they're going in a roller coaster, they're going to a sightseeing, they are going to some tourist places, they can exactly see it in the goggles. Cyber security, cloud services, these are few things, okay? So this is a small summary about what was I talking. Industrial Revolution 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 and 4.0. Let me just read for you. Steam engines, mass production, personal computers, and 4.0 is about IoT, Internet of Things. And in simple, Industrial Revolution 4.0 means smart and connected production systems that are designed to sense, predict and interact with the physical world. So now, people have just thought about Industrial Revolution 5.0. Now we are running into 4.0. I don't know how many of us use ChatGPT. I don't know how many of us use Bard. I don't know how many of us use this artificial intelligence to edit our photographs, to get the plans of a house. If you have a house, you can take a plan and if you feed it in the computers, it will give you beautiful settings. Earlier, you need to go to an architect. You need to go to an interior designer so that he will design the interiors of your home. Now, artificial intelligence will design it for you. So, Industrial Revolution 5.0 refers to, which means people working alongside robots and smart machines. So, slightly difficult for us to digest these things and all. So, what is smart machines? What is robots? So, isn't this thing called as smart? So, when robots come in Industry 5.0, will it be more smarter? So, there are a lot of research going on in those areas and all. Industrial Revolution. So, these are a few things which is going to come. So, in 5.0, robots will be called as cobots. Robots will be called as cobots, which means robots will work alongside human beings with some human touch. So that is something called as cobots. Cobots will be the hallmark of Industrial Revolution 5.0. So this is another video about a small girl dancing, and the cobot is also acting according to it. So it's slightly researchers tell that human touch will be slightly there in the robotic industry. 4.0 is everything about customer centric, and 5.0 will be most probably on human centric, which means customize. The word called as customization will be very high. Many of them will be using this word called customization about their products, their services. The European Union has said that Industrial Revolution 5.0 is an economy which works for the people. So here are a few differences about Industrial Revolution 4.0 and 5.0, okay? Got stuck? Okay, no problem. I think the PowerPoint got stuck. I think it has some. Can you remove it and put it back again? This wire. Yeah. So before coming into this college, last week we had a program in a college. So I had to go to the library and I was reading an article which came in a journal. I think when I was talking to a professor, he said that many research scholars are here, many teachers are here. There is a journal called as Indian Journal of Management. 1 month back, okay, 1 month back. Indian Journal of Management, the journal 1 month back, okay. So in that journal, there's an article named as "Will Artificial Intelligence Replace Humans from Human Resources?" That's what I just wanted to talk about. This humanities. I just want to talk. Will artificial intelligence replace humans from human beings? So technology is very high. We are living in an era where technology is very high. I will give you some information. There are technologies with the government. There are technologies with high profile, big organizations that they can take the video from the satellite, or they can shoot a picture. What am I doing inside my home? Usually we never get it in like that. We will get a picture from the satellite, or if you take a picture from the satellite of the Congo Arts and Science College, you will get some greenery and some buildings from the top. Okay. Now the technology has gone very deep. If they can take a picture from the satellite, they can see each and every one of us. What are we doing inside the homes, even inside our bedrooms and bathrooms? Their technology has gone very high. 1 month back, in Hindu newspaper, every Sunday there is a supplement coming in Hindu newspaper called as magazine. I don't know how many of you read. Okay, so every Sunday there is a supplement coming in Hindu newspaper called as Sunday Magazine. It was a very scary report. You know what? In US, one group of organizations, what did they do? Means leave it, no problem, leave it, no problem. Okay, leave it. I'm almost done. So what did they do? Means they went through the Instagram account of many people. So now what did they do? அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா இன்ஸ்டாகிராம்ல வந்து யாரெல்லாம் சோகத்தை பத்தி பேசுறாங்களோ அதை வந்து கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்க. So they had some keywords called as pain, tears, loneliness, grief, all those words. So people who are using these words in their posts, in their reels, in their shorts, in their messages, this organization, this group of people started tracking these people who are alone. நம்ம நிறைய பேர் காதல வந்து ஃபெயிலியர் ஆயிடுச்சு, இல்ல வீட்டுல கஷ்டம் ஆயிடுச்சு, எதனா விட்டு போயிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னாக்கா we used to put loneliness. Then we'll put a sentimental tune. So what did this organization did? No, they targeted all these people who are single. They targeted all these people. They sent this organization. It's so amazing to see that how our technology has gone so high. You know what did this group of people did? It came in Hindu newspaper. They created chatbots. With artificial intelligence. They made fake accounts. So if it's a girl, they will make a fake account of a boy. If it's a boy, they will make a fake account of a girl, giving a beautiful picture of a girl. And then they send messages. To these type of people who are lonely. They made friends. They will know, are you lonely? I am also lonely. So they started canvassing these people. They made relationships with these people. This didn't happen in one night, okay? This happened in a course of time. They sent personal messages, sexual messages, love messages, relationship messages, and they seduced them They made them fall in love with these people, and all these accounts are run by this organization, made by chatbots, fake accounts, and they canvass them. They fell in love with these people with these fake accounts, and you know what did they do? One day, they looted money from all their. They collected bank accounts, passwords, and all, and they got money from them. It seems they stole money from their accounts. So technology has gone very deep. So I'll just move into some differences about Industrial Revolution 4.0 and 5.0. Okay. So 4.0 is everything about smart products, and 5.0 is everything about interactive products. 4.0 mass customization will be there in Industrial Revolution 5.0 when it comes customers experience, giving customers new experience, giving customers a different experience, giving customers some high quality experience will be the hallmark of every organizations. 4.0 is technology driven and 5.0 is value driven. So in Industrial Revolution 4.0, the human resources are far from the factory. So now Google, Microsoft and many organizations have moved from physical offices into homes. Work at home has become a big thing now. Work at home has become a big thing because they don't need to build organizations. They need to just hire and recruit people so that they will sit and work in their homes or in their convenient places and all. And Industrial Revolution 5.0 comes, manpower will return to the organizations provided they will have new roles and new opportunities. So I'll just tell one sentence and I will stop. I'm not going to go deep into this impact and all those stuff, okay? I was just talking about all these things. So I told you I read an article about will artificial intelligence. The title of the article itself was so interesting for me. Will artificial intelligence replace humans from human resources? That was the title. And they concluded that humans can never be replaced. Even if technology comes with high power, high intensity, high quality, lots of features, lots of benefits and all, still the role of human beings in organizations are very vital. There will be people, but they will get new roles, new responsibilities and new opportunities. With that thing, I thank Dr. Alagapan sir, the principal, I forgot his name, professor, principal, all the teachers, faculty members and dear students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You're wise enough to be an inspiration for all of us. You have really motivated us to pursue innovation-based career. Gratitude is a precious gift which has been given to all. I request Ms. E. Yashoda Devi Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship with CA and Professional Accounting, Congo Arts and Science College, to express everyone's gratitude through vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am glad to be standing here to express my vote of thanks in this special occasion. I take this opportunity to thank the management for giving us an opportunity for organizing the International Multidisciplinary Conference and provided the required guidance and support at every step. I extend my sincere gratitude to our honorable correspondent through P.D. Tangavel sir and our respected principal Dr. H. Vasudevan sir for their efforts and encouragement in conducting this program. Thank you, sir. Next, I extend my special thanks to our chief guest, Dr. M.B. Arun Balakrishnan sir, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your talks have truly inspired us. Thank you, sir, for your highly informative speech about industrial revolutionary. Next time, my sincere thanks to head of the departments and both college faculty members who handled the event throughout. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Students are asked to leave for lunch break and assemble here at sharply 1:45 p.m.